Good afternoon, everybody. So today I'm introducing you uh, the left-hand head rule and the lexical category of Vietnamese compounding words. Let's come to my hypothesis. So I gave here my hypothesis that in Vietnamese, the leftmost word in a compound word determines the lexical category as a whole. Before to start, I want to give you some note that for the case of Vietnamese, adverbs and prepositions are considered function words. Moreover, compound words are considered content words in Vietnamese. Therefore, I have no case of content word plus function word to make a compound word. So look at my data here. I just give you some examples and I have a limitation on time. So the first case I have the word áo means shirt and it is a noun. And when it combines with the word quần means trousers. And I have the compound nouns means clothes, áo, quần. Or I have the word that is a noun start first with the word trời, sky, and then I plus the second noun. It is đất, that means ground. And I have a compound noun. The second case, it is the noun plus the verb, and then I have a compound noun then. That is the first example here. Máy, it is a noun, means machine. And then I plus it with a verb. It is to pull, or in Vietnamese, kéo. Then I have the compound nouns. Máy kéo means tractor. And another example. The third case, I have a noun and then I plus with an adjective and then I have a compound noun there. So I have the word hoa. It is a noun, means flower. And then I have the adjective hồng. It is red or pink in Vietnamese. So I have the new word that is a compound noun, hoa hồng. We used to refer to rose in English. So as you can see, we have many words, the compounding words, which are the compound nouns. And it all starts with the noun, okay? And then even it plus with a verb or a noun or an adjective, the result still be the compound nouns. Let's move to the second case. For the case of compound verbs. So it happened the same. We have the verb at the beginning or on the leftmost. Làm is a verb, and then I have a noun, gương. So làm gương. I have the compound verbs in our language. Means to be example of someone or something. Or in the case of verb, plus verbs, and of course we have a compound verb, right? So I have the word đánh. Okay, I choose the second one. I have the word đánh. That means to beat, and I combine it with another verb, đổ. That means to form. And I have the compound verb, đánh đổ means to rule. Okay, and the third case of compound verbs. I have a verbs and then I plus it with an adjective and then my result a compound verb. So again I have the word làm. So now it means to make. And then I added it with an adjective. It is cao. Okay, so I have the word làm cao. Okay, so let's move to the third case of compounding words in Vietnamese. It is a compounding adjective. So in this case, the same rule happened. As you can see, the adjective all stay on the left of the combinations. And I can have the adjective plus adjective and the result is a compounding adjective. I have an adjective plus noun and the result is compounding adjectives also. And the last case, adjective plus verbs, also the adjective as the result, but it is a compounding adjective. For example, I have the first case, I have the word cay, and then I plus it with the word đắng, and I have the word cay đắng. It is an adjective in Vietnamese that means you feel very suffer. For example, I have the word nặng that means heavy, and it is an adjective. And when I plus it with a noun, it is tay, means hand in English, and I have the compounding adjectives. It is nặng, tay. We use it when you want to refer someone who punish others very hard. And the last case, adjective plus verbs. We also have a compounding adjectives. For example, I have the word khó, difficult, and I plus it with the word nói, to talk. And I have the adjective khó nói. So in this case, I give only the meaning of strong head. But let's look at my exception here. During the time of finding the data and test, I found the exception, the first exception here. In Vietnamese, we have a noun and noun plus together, but the result is a compounding adjectives. For example, I have the word iron, sắt. It is a noun, right? And then stone, in Vietnamese, đá. And I have the adjective, the compounding adjective as a result, that is sắt, đá, or stony in English. The same happened with this word. Most of these cases happen with the compound adjectives and in exocentric compounds only. So what is exocentric compounds? I have the conception from Maria Irene Moina, and she said exocentric compounds have the feature of the whole and not attribute to the constituent and must be sought elsewhere rather than guessing from the compound lexemes. That may be the reason for no rule of this case, I think. And the second exception that I found, when I look at the borrowed word from Chinese, see a case of noun plus verb, but even the most left word, either noun, but the result, I have the compounding verbs. For example, I have the word quốc hữu. It is a noun, national possession. And I have the word hóa, means to become. It is a verb. And then I have the result when they combine together. It is a compounding verb. Quốc hữu hóa, make something belong to the nation. Okay. So another case, you can see here the word thuộc địa hóa, to colonize, or the word Việt Nam hóa, to assimilate into Vietnamese. So we use this word when we want to talk about the borrowed word from Chinese or the Western language. When we borrow the word, we make it become Vietnamese by adding some tone or applying to the Vietnamese rule to the word. So let me move to the conclusions of my presentation. According to the data that I gave you, it can be that Vietnamese compounds follow the pattern in number 1, X plus Y, and then I have an X. So this pattern means the leftmost word in a compounding word of Vietnamese will determine the lexical category of the whole. And let me add more here. Vietnamese compounds can be both endocentric compounds and exocentric compounds. For the case of endocentric compounds, you can apply the left hand head rule in most of the case. So in the case of endocentric compounds, according to Maria Irene Moina, 2021, she said that the head in a compound is a lexical item with the semantic or the syntactic features that are passed on to the whole compounds. So in the case of Vietnamese, the head here can determine the lexical category of the whole in most of the cases. So I just mentioned the lexical category, okay? And I found that in Vietnamese, there are 2 exceptions for this left-hand head rule. They are the first one, in some case of exocentric compounds, where you cannot get the meaning of the whole if you look at only one lexical item there. And the second one, and the second exception happened is that in some case the borrowed was. So that is my presentation, and I hope that when you learn Vietnamese, you can apply the left hand hat rule to your learning when you try to memorize the word or the compounding words, or try to figure out the lexical category of the new word that you encounter. Thank you for watching.